Welcome to Machine God Eats, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Darling, and one thing I've noticed is that being broke or being in poverty, being poor, can have a profound effect over your social life. Most adult activities here in the United States costs money, especially when you want to socialize with other people. If you want to get out of your comfort zone on your off day, go out and mingle. It's one thing to just go into a social setting where there's a lot of people, but you want to be in a social setting where you can mingle and have something in common to strike up conversations with your contemporaries in order to, have a social life. But everything costs money, which makes most people avoiding to even going out and having a good time. Everything costs money. If you want to go out to a concert with your friends, it's going to cost you some money. If you want to go out for brunch or to lunch, it's going to cost you some money. If you want to go out to the club and dance and everything, it's going to cost you some money. And not only money, but time. And if you work all throughout the week, or let's say like this week that just passed, I worked 6 days in a row. So on my one free off day, the last thing I kind of want to do is go outside the house and especially spend money. I just want to relax. I see that a lot of people find that by the end of the work week, once the weekend comes around or once their free days come around, they don't want to go out because they want to use that time to rest, to recoup, to regenerate. So it's like almost like the system is set up for us, like not to commingle, not to be in that what they call the third space. The third space is the space where we're supposed to be able to meet new people and socialize. But in this society, it seems like we go from work to home, and then occasionally we able maybe get some money or able to get enough time to find a third place to go to. But a lot of people are being frustrated by the fact that once they get to that third place, there's nobody there to mingle, especially women. Women are saying, why are men not coming out and mingling? Where do the men converge? Where do the men meet at? I'm trying to literally meet men that are my age or my age group that I could be interested in. What happened? Why can't we do that anymore? And I'm telling you why. It's because a big part of it is the internet, but a lot of it is based on money. If you go out there and let's say you want to go to a coffee shop and sit down and hope that your husband walks through the coffee shop and interacts with you and talks to you, and all these sparks fly and all this, that's a tall order, because even the person that's probably super attracted to you is going to be down on his phone trying to avoid making complete eye contact with you, to avoid coming off like a creep, right? Because that's what we are too, right? Like even myself, on my daily commute, there are women that I see every day, and we may glance at each other, we may check each other out or whatever. But one of the things I do is I constantly stay in my phone because I don't want anybody to think I have any interest in trying to pursue them or anything like that. And I know that that's fucked up, because maybe I do think the person is cute, or maybe I do think that the person is attractive, but society has warped us so much to where you just avert your gaze because you don't want that person to think, oh, I'm creeping on them, or I'm about to try to or even if I gave my number out, that this isn't. I was on a bus, what was it, a couple weeks ago, and there was this. I sat at the back of the bus, and there was this nice looking, thick Latina girl. I mean, when I say thick, she was more on the heavy set side, but she was nice looking. And I sat in the seat across from her. When this black guy, younger black guy around her age, got on the bus, he was coming from Walmart. He had all these bags. He gets on the bus. He sits behind us. Okay. When he saw her, he comes back up. He sits in front of her to mac his shot. Right. This is a decent looking dude. Now, this is a whole interaction I'm about to tell you about. So he sits in front of her, starts talking to her. Right. Now, I had my headphones on, so I couldn't hear exactly what he's saying. By the way he was looking at her, I thought that he knew her at first, but the way that she was kind of like with him, I was like, oh, he must be trying to mac, right? So as he was talking, I noticed that she started to get irritated, and she got up and she went back to the seat that he was in. So she tried to avoid him. This nigga gets up out of his seat. Okay, this is now she already avoided. She already got up. He came, sat in front of her. She got up. Obviously, she's not interested. She goes to the back of the bus. This nigga gets up, goes back to the back of the bus to still pursue her. Now, take in mind, bro, this is why a lot of women have gotten online and said just don't approach them, because of niggas like this, okay? Clearly, I mean, clear as day. Now he goes back there and harasses her. At this point, she gets up, she goes to the front of the bus to tell the bus driver that this dude is back here harassing her. So the bus driver stops the bus, he comes back there, the dude completely lies, like, oh, I didn't touch her, this and that, da 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 da. Yeah, he did. Like, he I don't know if he touched her or whatever, but I'm not harassing her or whatever. He had his backs. So the bus driver couldn't do anything. Bus driver goes back up to the front, rides the bus. The girl stays at the front, up the, like, like at the middle door of the bus. She just sit there, and where she just get up and walk off. When this dude, his bus stop comes up in a couple stops. When this dude gets off the bus, he goes up there and he says something else to her. Right? Take him out. She's sitting right there in front of the door. He didn't have to say shit. She already told the bus driver. The bus driver didn't stop the bus. The motherfucking you look stupid right now, bro. Like you look fucking horrible. Okay. Now at this point, he goes up there. He's about to get off the bus. His stop is there. He got all his bags. He says something to her. She's on her phone. She's just like, bro, leave me the fuck alone. Right? This dude gets off the bus and knocks her phone out of her hand. A fucking bitch. This is a black dude. Okay. Bro, okay, now this girl wasn't no bitch. She gets up, she's like, fuck you. She says the F, she calls him F word. Fuck you, da-da-da-da, what's up? This dude puts his bags down and gets ready to square up with this girl. Now the bus driver gets up to this point. I got my situation on me. I'm not about to let you fight this girl, bro. I'm not saying I'm gonna cut you down, but I'm not about to let you. I done seen the whole situation. I'm not about to let you abuse this girl because your ego is bruised, because you can't approach a woman because you don't have the social skills available to you to take a no and be like, okay, I'm gonna move on with my life. She was literally about to fight this dude. This dude gets off the bus and da da da. Then she gets back on the phone with whoever she's talking to, like, yeah, this motherfucker just tried to fight me, knocked the phone out of my hand. And I felt bad because I'm like, this is what women be talking about, bro. This is what they be talking about. And when there are no third spaces for people to be able to interact and have those back and forth normal social interaction, creeps like that are bred into society to where they see whatever opportunity they can to harass a woman because, there is no third space. He goes from the store to his home, probably on somebody's food stamps, and they're in between that route. There's nobody to talk to except the women that are on the bus or that are in his path, right? But to lack the complete social skills to be able to just take a no and move on about your day, trash, bro. Trash. Lack of social skills. And why? Because I know the neighborhood we live, same neighborhood that I live in. This is a very poor neighborhood. Downtown is a very poor area. You lack funds, you lacking resources, and you're lacking the ability to put yourself in the social space to find the women that you want to find, right? So what do? You get on a bus, you harass women. You know what I'm saying? And I see why so many women end up with lowlifes, because it's usually the lowlifes that are gonna take themselves out of their position to go and approach you. Last week I was going down to the dispensary and there was a girl, nice looking girl, with this white skirt on, black girl, with her booty cheeks just hanging all the way out. Now I thought the girl was fine. She obviously wanted somebody to talk to her. Now a person like me, even though I thought this girl was very attractive, she's obviously flaunting it. She obviously is walking down Las Vegas Boulevard, filming herself, wanting somebody to talk to her. She I don't know if she was selling, I don't know what she was doing, but she was out there advertising the cakes, and it was enough to elicit the primal urge in me to want to go up there and just motorboat her butt cheeks, right? But being a decent individual, I would never approach a woman that is dressed like that in public to harass her for a couple reasons. For one, I don't want to come off as, like I said, being on a bus as a creep. I don't want to put her in a position, and then if she's flaunting it like that, just out here on the street, if she was involved in me, who to say she wouldn't be flaunting it to the rest of the person? A decent man is not going to approach a woman who's advertising like that. So like I say, we have no third space to interact and find the type of relationships. And let's even just take dating and stuff out of it, right? Because like I said, that woman was attractive, and even if she was dressed modestly, I still wouldn't have approached her because we're not in that third space that makes it appropriate for me to come up there and introduce myself. Now, a lot of women say, just introduce yourself. If we find you attractive, it's not creepy. But how do I know you find me attractive? How do I know it's not going to come off as creepy? You see what I'm saying? It's like the internet and modern society and this technology has warped us to the point to where we can't even have like these normal interactions, okay? But like I said, take dating out of it. Normal friendships, okay? I am very antisocial when it comes to meeting new friends. And there's been people on here from this channel that have tried to befriend me and tried to, offer me their friendship. And I appreciate that. But the problem with me is I have no follow through when it comes to friendship, when it comes to following up. And a lot of it does, once again, boil down to finances. If we're going to, and I know a lot of stuff is free. Oh, come through and do this or come through and do that. It's free. But at the same time, I do, like I said, think about my time and my money. I would want to provide. If I show up to an event, I want to bring food. If I show up or alcohol or something. And if my funds are not matching that week, I'm gonna feel a certain way because I just feel like I'm freeloading, right? So what do? I don't put myself in that third space with people that offer themselves their friendship to me. And in my past, I've lost so many friends due to the fact that I don't participate in their activities. I've lost girlfriends because we don't go out or I don't spend money. I've lost relationships with my guy friends, or I failed to start relationship with guy friends because the events that they want to partake in, I just don't spend the money on it. Or at the time when an event do pop up and everybody has the money, it's always like I don't have the money at the time. It could be a convention and everybody's like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the convention," and I don't find out about the convention until a couple weeks out, and I can't get the money together to join those people to enjoy to partake in the activity, and that pulls you away from the group, right? And everybody says, "Oh, well, Discord and this and that and da da da." It still doesn't take away from the fact that even with those internet tools, people like myself over time have become so antisocial that even if I was on Discord, even if I'm interacting with y'all directly, and some of y'all have seen me on live, I am very awkward when it comes to trying to interact with people in a just in a on a personal level. And I completely blame the fact that throughout my adulthood I've always had to dedicate my money to my living space or to where I live. And I know y'all see all these fucking toys and shit. You buy toys and stuff, but yeah, that's my comfort. Instead of I would rather in this life spend money on stuff that have some type of permanence for me or give me some joy, a game, a fucking toy, some weed, whatever, than necessarily spending it on strangers to try to get to know strangers. And that's a problem because then what happens? You end up lonely. You end up by yourself. You end up with a lot of time to yourself to think. Like myself, I spend 90 something percent of my life alone. If you barring taking out of work, I'm by myself. You understand? And I'm in my own head. And that's why this type of subject matter comes up, because it runs through my head about why is it that everything is so antisocial? Because I'm not the only one complaining about this. So many people complaining about the fact that there's no third space to go and interact and mingle with other people. But I think if they really look down deep inside, they're probably just an antisocial person that are not very good with those interactions, damaged by the society that they've partaken in for most of their adulthood, like myself, like a lot of millennials who are so warped by this internet generation, by this technological revolution we find ourselves living through, that it is very hard to have normal human interactions with people. That's why everybody says the dating market is cooked, because normal interaction is shot. It's shot. Even outside, the only people that interact with me completely. Yesterday, I was downtown filming some content, um, and I set up the tripod, and I took a picture of myself for my Instagram. And when I did, there was a couple foreign ladies that saw that I was just by myself doing a thing, and they came up to me and they gave me their phone. I was like, "Can you take a picture of us?" Da 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 da. And it was a cool. And they were like, "You look nice," and da da da. It was really cool. It was a cool interaction, but you don't get that from like a lot of us, because they'll probably think I'm gonna run off with a lot of us, but they probably don't think I'm gonna run off with their phone, and with good cause, because there's a lot of niggas downtown that will run off with your phone, but that's neither here nor there. I think there's in this society we have an issue with expressing ourselves on just a human level, right? Like even just hugging and interacting is an awkward thing for people when it's just a natural thing. I have people that I work with that literally say, "Oh, can I hug you?" Bro, just hug me. Like, what the fuck? You want to greet me? Hug me. Like, you don't have to ask me to. It's a human interaction. It's a hug. I love hugs. You know what I'm saying? Men or women, I love a hug. I love a genuine warm embrace, because at the end of the day, despite all of this silicone and microchips and technology that we've attached our lives to, we are these organic creatures that crave interaction with other organic creatures that are of the same species, that are going to give us insight and spiritual lifting and all that. And none of that has to do with money. None of that has to do with um, this machine matrix that keeps us in this loop trying to just earn a living, right? Where do we have our third space? Where can we get out and mingle with our contemporaries? Where can we get out and meet our wives or husbands or our best friends or our gaming partners or our bowling, whatever it may be? Where do we meet these people without having to spend an exuberant amount of money to do so? And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are having a fabulous Monday. I know I am. I'm about to go and take a walk out here. I'm off today. I'm off tomorrow too, which is funny because I never have weekdays off, but I worked 6 days in a row last week, and all these corporate people are coming in today and tomorrow. So it's funny that I'm not on the schedule today because I don't get nervous when corporate people come, and I think my boss knows that because they've been there before. And I just, they interact with me. I interact with them like I'm gonna interact with anybody else. Y'all not gonna pay me no more coming up in this motherfucker to kiss y'all ass. Last week, my boss, her boss, because her boss and her boss's boss is coming. So this is like higher up. Some corporate niggas coming, okay? So they on one side of the restaurant painting walls, okay? They painting the motherfucking trim on, at the bottom of the walls. They putting up new paint. They reupholstering shit. They making sure what do you call it? Like stains. What are those stains? Like watermark stains are not on the thing. They doing everything. They going to the store back and forth coming through because there's one corporate niggas coming through uh today and tomorrow. And I guess what he gonna do, he gonna take his finger and he's just gonna wipe up along the wall to see. I mean, he ain't gonna do that shit. And I'm just like, y'all be jumping through so many hoops. At one point last week, this is like right in the middle of the week when they're talking about all these corporate people coming. Take in mind, I'm a server, and there's other people that are servers. That's what we do. We're servers. We're literally dressed up to come to your table and shuck and jive for you. That's what we kind of paid to do. Okay. I'm not paid to wash walls. That's not what they pay me to do. Now in the morning when I come in and I open the restaurant, I do all the little technical stuff there. Yeah, that's my physical activity for the day. I do trash. I do light janitorial work in the morning, and that's my choice to be an opener, and I like doing that. But after the store is open, and after I get dressed into my uniform, and I'm all pressed because y'all want me to look a certain way, I'm not about to wash walls. Y'all don't pay me to wash walls. These motherfuckers gonna come up there with a towel and hand us a towel. Like, all right, yes, if in between y'all tables, if y'all can can y'all wash these walls down? I took that. I walked off from that corner so quick and put that towel. I was like, you better. I took that towel and put that shit right back in the fucking bucket. I'm not washing no walls. What the fuck I look like? And I went and made sure the rest. Cause I had opened that morning too. Made sure my other two tables were just about ready to go because they were. Got them all together, got my money, and got the fuck up out of there. What are y'all tripping? Y'all got a whole janitorial staff that I have to tip out every fucking day on top of the taxes that the government takes from me. Okay, so I have to pay the government, which is a lot of time, close to $10, and then I have to pay the busser, what they call the busser, another usually about $5 to $6 when I leave there. I'm saying this is like if I have like, let's say I made $70 in tips, about 10 to 15 of that is going to go to the government and the busser, which pisses me off because our bussers don't even take the plates from the table. They don't even stack them right. They just literally come and wipe the table down, and we still have to take our plates back to the dish pit. But whatever. Y'all pay them to do that. I pay them to do that. Okay? So what I'm not about to do right now is come over here and start washing down walls like I'm a janitor, right? I don't get paid to do that. I get paid to serve people. That's where the bulk of my money come from. In fact, and I have to remind them on a constant basis, most of my money, my personal money, does not come from my this restaurant. In fact, I don't make shit off this little bitty $12 an hour that y'all pay in this restaurant, and I'm only here a lot of times 5-6 hours a day, right? I'm not getting paid off of that. I get paid off of people's gratuity and off of my skill. That's what I get paid off. That's how I'm able to afford to take care of myself. Okay, but what I'm not about to do is be out over here washing down walls because some corporate niggas coming through. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and as far as like even that dealing with people with your job, you will come across people with your job. Y'all will be attracted, but you don't know exactly where to cross that line because you don't want it to be awkward at work. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times you'll feel something like you'll feel like, okay, is this person digging me? This person is like hugging me a little bit differently than like the normal situation, and a lot of times you may be right, but at work you risking it all by you get that hug one day and you just decide to reach for a handful of butt cheek. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the grip. That's the overhand grip. You got to go behind and just grab a butt cheek. You know what I'm saying? Like right under there. You end up losing your job. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all later. Bye bye.